engine shop.
Thanks, folks. Enjoy your ride.
Tool car. 611's tool car.
If you have a look off to the running left-hand side of our train, coming up just after we clear the yard limits here, you'll notice a neat little row of cabooses coming into view. They belong to the privately owned and operated Red Caboose Motel, which is one of the very few places in the world where you can actually spend the night in a real caboose. Fairview Crossing will be next. Fairview.
Last time.
We're very happy to have you with us here today to enjoy old-fashioned steam railroading just as it was in your great-grandparents' day. Just a word about these authentic coaches in which you're traveling on board today. Each of the coaches on board this train were constructed between the years of 1896 and 1913. They've all been very painstakingly restored right here in the Strasburg Company shops by our very own skilled craftsmen at a cost of anywhere from $150,000 to $400,000 each. Most of the coaches are finished in solid oak or mahogany. The light fixtures which are hanging above you were once kerosene or gas operated. They have all been electrified and they are used for the evening trips here on the line. Those cast iron coal stoves that you see at the ends of the coaches are not just for looks. Come back and ride with us in just a few short weeks and you'll find out just how practical and comfortable they really are. The present company was purchased back in 1958 to save this little railroad from bankruptcy and abandonment. Back then, hard times had fallen upon the line. Passenger service had been discontinued in the early 1920s. Freight service had dwindled to less than a carload per week. And in 1957, a hurricane had severed the line in several places. A local businessman named Henry Kuiperlong organized 23 of his associates to purchase the line at scrap value, and life was once again given anew to the railroad. Back in those early days, every nickel of profit was put right back into the railroad so that we may enjoy these authentic steam locomotives and coaches here today. Here on the left-hand side of the train, you'll notice those long white buildings over there. They belong to the Espenshade Turkey Farm. This is the oldest continuously operated turkey farm on the entire continent of North America. The farm over there has been in the Espenshade family for over 10 generations. They raise birds year-round primarily for the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday season. Soon it will not be a good time to be a turkey.
Back to the rail fans on this crossing again.
Hey, you're really going to see them,
Yeah.
We're out on the 611.
Yeah.
This area of Lancaster County was settled in the early 1700s. Route 741, which you used to reach our station today, was originally a Conestoga wagon trail leading from Philadelphia to the Indian outpost at Carlisle, just west of Harrisburg. Coming up on the running right-hand side of the train, we'll be passing a gray stone farmhouse with maroon shutters. The stone portion of this house was built in 1774. Was originally the home of Cornelius Ferree. He was a wheelwright Conestoga wagon builder. Travelers who were heading westward on the old Conestoga Trail could stop here to purchase Pennsylvania long rifles, Conestoga wagons, and other locally produced provisions, all of which were needed for the long journey ever westward. Remember, folks, that back in the 1800s, a trip from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania took the better part of a week to complete. Today, you can make that same trip on an Amtrak train in just under 8 hours. Today, this farm is part of the Cherry Crest Adventure Farm and also the home of the Amazing Maze Corn Maze. Just after we pass the barn here on the running right-hand side of the train, you'll see a 5-acre cornfield with over 2.5 miles of trails cut into it. On the hillside to the left and the right-hand side of the train are plenty of activities for both young and light at the grounds of the Cherry Crest Adventure Farm. Unfortunately, they are closed today. They are open Tuesday through Saturday throughout the month of October. This is one of the many ways that local farmers are adapting to the ever-changing agricultural economy here in Lancaster County.
Cherry Hill coming up next. Looks like we got a couple of freight cars in Cherry Hill siding.
If you have a look off the running right-hand side, before you in the beautiful Techway Valley. It's when so many thousands of passengers travel to Lancaster County. A typical Lancaster County Amish farm. It's neat, clean, and very plain. Inside, there are no carpets, no curtains, no radio, television, or telephone, no electric lights. You also won't find an automobile in the barn, for this farmer drives over plenty of big, strong workhorses and will enhance the health of the hard work of farming. In addition to the dairy cattle, the cash crops consist of corn, wheat, rye, maize, oats, barley, soybeans, and the world-famous Lancaster County broadleaf tobacco. The Amish are very peaceful and prosperous people. They contribute greatly to the agricultural economy of Lancaster County. We're very happy and proud to have them as our neighbors. Many, many years ago, in the next valley to the south of us, beyond that ridge of hills to the right, there was a little narrow gauge railroad known as the Lancaster, Oxford, and Southern. Local people referred to it as the Little, Old, and Slow, with a nickname like that. You can imagine that it didn't last very long. Well, back about 1917, petitions were quickly filed for abandonment. Local legend has it that the tracks over there were
Carpenter's Crossing coming up next.
one of those little trains in its
Then Ghost Whistle.
out upon that line, searching for the station that it could never reach. Well, I don't know how true that is, but to this day, when we stop here at Black Horse Crossing, and our locomotive number 90 sounds off, the ghost train of the old LONS and her crew will sometimes answer us at return. Now listen very, very carefully and see if you might hear that famous ghost whistle answer us here today.
Yeah, it wasn't resting on that. It has to rest on that. No, it was like just touching it.
Here we go. Ready? Listen carefully.
No, they're just
Nice.
No, folks. I'm afraid you've done that all wrong. No, I happen to know we paid that old ghost $27.50
like a wheel slip.
blow that whistle for us. We sure do. It makes him the highest paid employee on the Strasburg Railroad. Speaking of ghosts, though, coming up next is Carpenter's Graveyard. Just past the highway crossing to the left of our train, up on the hill, surrounded by a gray stone wall, lies Carpenter's Graveyard. It's said to be one of the oldest graveyards in Lancaster County. We think of this area as the Dutch country, but in this little graveyard is buried Marie Ferry. She was the leader of a group of French Huguenots who fled from France in the early 1700s in search of religious freedom. She and her followers first made their way to England, where they met with William Penn himself, and he granted them 2 square miles of land right here in 1712. It was they who called their little colony Paradise, Pennsylvania. Remember, folks, that 300 years ago, this was the frontier of America, and only Marie Ferry, her followers, and the Pequot Indians were here at the time. In just a few moments, we're going to go out onto a fill. We're going to cross over the railroad's one and only bridge. No, you're not going to see the bridge, I hope. It's supposed to be underneath us. You will see where the Pumpkinville Turnpike goes right underneath our tracks. Now, this is the most dangerous part of our journey here today. Please do not rock the coaches on the bridge. We found by past research and careful experience, if you lift your feet just a bit, this helps take some weight off the coaches and stress off the old bridge. The bridge is located right here at the end of the pasture on the left. Feet up, please, as your coach goes over the mighty Pumpkinville Turnpike Bridge. For the past several miles, we've been traveling through the heart of what is commonly known as the Dutch country, the fertile farmland of the Plain people, the Mennonites, the Noters, and the Amish. Within a 10-square-mile radius of the railroad live more than 25,000 of these people. They live a very quiet, peaceful way of life of hard work and deep religious devotion, just as their forefathers did when they arrived here from Germany and Switzerland over 275 years ago. Little has changed for them. Their style of dress, their mode of travel, their entire way of life, as much as they...
Paradise coming up next with Amtrak Keystone Corridor.
You look off to the running right-hand side of our train, you'll notice that we're passing the last Amish farm on our eastbound journey here today. 11 of the 14 farms along the railroad are owned by the Plain people. The average
Keystone
farm
Corridor
is
up
80 acres
ahead.
in size. Lemon Place Junction will be next. Lemon Place, this is where the main line of the Strasburg Railroad connects with the main line of the former Pennsylvania Railroad. A short distance ahead here, our tracks will curve very sharply to the left. That will bring us alongside the New York to Chicago high-speed main line, which is now operated by Amtrak. This location here at Lemon Place Junction has quite a bit of railroading history to be told. This was the original route of the Philadelphia and Columbia Railroad, which later became part of the mighty Pennsylvania Railroad back in 1857. Lemon Place was an important stop on the Pennsy. There were more than 30 passenger trains a day stopping here up until 1898. During the golden age of railroading in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, many of the Pennsylvania Railroad's famous east-west blue ribbon fleet passenger trains, including that world-famous train, the Broadway Limited, passed by here each day as it traveled to and from New York and Chicago. Today, this stretch of railroad between Philadelphia and Harrisburg is owned by Amtrak. It serves as a vital transportation link for both long-distance and commuter travelers alike. There are still approximately 28 Amtrak passenger trains that still pass by here on a daily basis. The folks you know once they don't even bother to slow down, much less stop here at the junction. In just a few moments, we'll be stopping here briefly while we uncouple the locomotive from the front of our train. It will pass right by us on the interchange track to be recoupled to the opposite end for the return trip back to East Strasburg. The locomotive pulling our train today is old engine number 90. She was built back in 1924 by the Walden Locomotive Works in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for service on the Great Western Railroad in the state of Colorado. Together with her tender, she weighs in over 186 tons. She is the largest and the most powerful of the 4 operating steam locomotives that we have on our roster here today. Just making this 1 9-mile round-trip excursion today, number 90 will consume a half a ton of coal and 1,000 gallons of water for each trip that will be here today. Our engineer today is Fred. The fireman is Eric. Folks, as they go by the train here in just a few moments, I want you to stand up, jump up and down, wave, yell, cheer, clap like that for that engine crew, folks. Makes us very, very happy. Besides, if you don't, they might just leave us here in paradise. Yes, folks, believe it or not, that's right, you guessed it, this is paradise. Paradise, Pennsylvania. You're in it, let's face it, this just might be as close to paradise as some of us may ever get. That's the truth. The remainder of our trip will be spent retracing our route back to Strasburg. For those of you seated in the coaches, if you like, you may step into the aisle, gently push on the back of your seat, and turn it for the return trip. This would be a good time to do that. We have on board with us today a person out of railroading's past entitled the News Butcher. Our News Butcher today is Alex, and in just a few moments, he will be passing through each of the coaches with copies of the ever-popular Strasburg Railroad Coloring and Activity Book, which sells for $2 a copy, and copies of the Strasburg Telegraph, a reproduction of a 1919 newspaper, sells for just $1 a copy. If you'd like to make a purchase, please let him know as he passes by.
Look at the engine going on.
See, you know.
Well, it's just to heat the water.
Or did it just do it
Try not to
automatically? Like the
drop
other one?
crumbs, okay?
Yeah, I think it's also a spring switch.
Try not to drop
Hey,
the
that's
crumbs.
why don't you hold that? Because that's going to crumble all over the place.
There you go. You want to go
I'll
up to
let
the
him
window?
hold it. I'm gonna watch him.
Yeah.
And you can try not to crumble it up. Eat it or
That's our engine.
Switching sides.